That's what that cat does. Reef? What the Reeferman?
Yeah, man.
Mean that cat high?
Sailing.
Dancing.
Lightning.
You make sure?
Man, is that the Reeferman?
I think he's losing his mind.
I think he lost his mind.
Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about issue number 3 of The Resistance from AWA UPSHOT. We've got J. Michael Straczynski, writer, Mike Deodato Jr. as the artist and the variant cover artist, Lee Lofridge is the colorist, variant cover artist, Sal Cipriano is the letterer, and Roz is the cover artist. Alright, let's check this book out. So as the story opens, we see an agency called Swan Kirby Chase Powers Placement Agency. And it seems to be run by someone named Marie Chase. Who is interviewing a potential employee, I guess, client, I'm not sure what she would call them. But it's basically an agency that seems to place people with powers into an identity, a superhero identity and whatnot, if that's what they choose to do. So that's what the story opens up. It shows somebody trying to become a superhero, and Marie Chase is there telling him, you can't have that particular design of a costume because the Argent Arrow name has already been taken, and the design for it obviously has already been taken. And so the person says, so I can't get something that even comes close? No. Interferes with marketing. Our clients need to be immediately identifiable and distinct from each other. Going back to your application form, James, everything seems to be in order. No criminal record, current warrants, wants, mostly acceptable grades, and the letter of recommendation? Oh yes, from your junior high English teacher. Very compelling. Powers? I'm strong, like really strong. Flight? No, but my skin is invulnerable. So far, I haven't found anything that can hurt me. Anything else? Anything interesting? Unique? Just you and nobody else? No, that's pretty much it. Strength and invulnerability. Okay, next steps then. Marie jots down on a note. Abilities. Generic. It sounds generic. We need to know what marketing to buyers is. We need to know what we're marketing to buyers, and that has to come from you, at least within company guidelines. So we need to know not just who you are, but who you want to be before we can finalize the contract. So, yeah, no, I'm digging this so far. In case you missed my other review about the first 2 issues, the Resistance are a group of people that have powers. It was a certain percentage of survivors of a virus that, swept across the world. And they all have different varying powers, much like the X-Men or mutants from the Marvel universe. And so I'm excited to see where it's all going. Let's continue. Alright, cool. So to understand the first reference or Easter egg that I've come across in the Resistance number 3, you'd first have to know who Kurt Swan is of DC Comics fame. He was an artist for Superman from the 50s till the 80s, in largely what was known as the Silver Age of comics. And if you don't know who Jack Kirby is, I don't know what to tell you, because that's a much bigger name, responsible for a lot of cool shit from both Marvel and DC. But yeah, page 2 of the Resistance has a Powers Placement Agency called Swan Kirby Chase Powers Placement Agency. I thought it was a really cool Easter egg, so I wanted to bring it up, point it out, and explain it. I don't know what Chase has to do with anything. I think that's just the character's name. Her name is Marie Chase, I think. Yeah, Marie Chase, as you see right there. But anyway, so I love the whole commercialized aspect of the beings with powers, because there's a scene here where Struck, what's his name? James Struck. He's the character that was at the beginning talking to Marie Chase. He's now going through wardrobe, and the wardrobe designer is explaining the masks to him, showing him what he has available and everything. And he says, you can't wear the unfortunately the mask can't cover your whole face. So James Struck says, well, what's the point then? Isn't that the point of a mask, to hide your identity? And let's see, I'll read directly from it. Most of our clients prefer to go face light, but we do have masks available. Just be aware that the masks cannot cover the entire face. Why is that? So the police facial recognition systems and people in general always know who you are. Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of wearing a mask? No. It's about style. Besides, if you're a popular power, people want to know they're paying for the real you, not a stand-in. We want to be sure that the public always knows what they're dealing with, which is why we break up the color palette by season. Here are spring, summer, bad guys, or winter, fall. Wait, so you also do bad guys? Darling, the whole world is our canvas, and it's not like any of them actually break the law. As I said, it's all about the vibe, like pro wrestling. Like, this is great stuff. It is realistic in much a realistic way as you can, with it being a comic book about powers. Reminds me a lot of The Boys, which I've read very little of and watched even less of. I like the idea of The Boys and stuff, it just wasn't for me. So don't hate me if you're a Boys fan. Not my thing. Not at this moment, anyway. But this is given some of those kind of vibes as far as how the world is handling beings with power, Great stuff. Love what he's doing here. Alright, let's continue. Oh, have you ever met that funny Reeferman? Reeferman! Click like, subscribe, share. Back to the story. So, this shit's cool because it plays out like a video game. When you're creating a character in role-playing games and such, pick your class, you pick your character, you male, female, and then, you pick the type of character you want to have, like the flight powers, this, that, whatever. You want to be an archer, you want to be a whatever. It depends what kind of game it is. But this right here, I'm showing you on the screen here. It's great because it shows you the different costume designs and such like that before being moved on to the naming walls, which is a giant wall here. Look, right here. A giant wall where just pick one from the north wall and one from the south. And so it's kind of like those online, like Facebook type things where you pick the first letter of your name is one word, then the second one is your first letter of your last name, and the second letter of your middle name, and all that weird shit. And it tells you, something silly like Captain Eat My Shorts, something crazy like that. But as you can see, it's a naming thing. So I mean, on one side you got things like Professor, Ultra, Wonder, Doctor, Wild, Cyber, Master, yada yada yada, right? And on the other wall, it's more of like a name type deal: Bolt, Falcon, King, Claw, Shrike, Soldier, X, which is crossed off and it says unavailable. Fucking love it. I don't know, is that a jab at Marvel, at the X-Men and such? Because the creators of this company came from Marvel. I don't know, maybe that's just me, maybe I'm reaching. But the idea here, the process they're going through to create this character is cool. I love it. I'm here for it. Who doesn't love a good double spread? You know, I can't talk with this in my mouth. The fuck. Who doesn't love a good double spread, huh? Look at this. This is a beautiful, beautiful double spread, double page image. Love it. Okay. Simple. It's a training scene, workout scene. Everybody's just doing their thing, you know. Not a lot to break down on it. Nothing really to break down on it. I just love the way that it shows them all training, and I mean, this is the gritty type of, I use the word gritty, but I don't even think that's the right word. I didn't want to sit with the camera on me the entire time while I read this book, because while that was a fun reaction video, I figure I'm going to break it down like this. I'll read a page or two and whatnot off camera and then discuss a little bit of what I said. I really should have flipped the page from that double spread, because bam. First line at the top there, Mr. Strick, whatever. James, the main character from the beginning. He's into the training room and whatnot, and that's what we see on the double spread page. First thing he says, cool. So a danger room kind of thing. It's just great. I love these little nods to the whole Marvel, X-Men, whatever shit. It's cool. So that training scene is not even what it looks like. I had to go back after reading something, and I realized there is no contact being made between anybody fighting on that double page. So, a danger room kind of thing? No. No contact allowed. So maybe a no danger room? It's all about voguing, you know, strike a pose. That's it. Stick the 3-point landing and hold long enough for the photos. What? So there's another great little Marvel reference here where James Struck is talking to somebody within the Swan Kirby Chase agency. It's Manny Swan, actually. He's telling James, when you buy a car, there's a license and registration. The registration just says you own it. Since you obviously own your own powers, there's no need to register it. So James says, so there's no, like, registration act? No, this is nothing like that at all. I just love it. Civil War, Marvel anymore. In the conversation with Manny Swan, James Struck is adamant about just trying to do good. He just wants to use his powers for good. He doesn't want to do these birthday appearances and be, you know, spectacles and celebrities. He wants to be a hero. And he calls out Manny Swan for saying that he's under the control of the government, or maybe the government himself, trying to get people with powers to go with these new laws and such regarding people with powers and everything, and getting data about them and everything. And it actually sounds a lot like a registration act to me, but you know, coated with candy and whipped cream and chocolate syrup and shit, so that they wouldn't even give a damn. You know, the people with powers, they'll be like eating it right up, right into the man's hands, you know. But I like what they're doing here. This was a pretty solid third issue. Highly anticipating the next issue. There's a very the last scene, the very last page is cool as hell. I don't want to spoil everything. I want you guys to go get it if you've been reading I mean, watching these videos and whatnot, whether you read this on your own already or not, I really hope more people read these books. I want this company to keep these books coming out. This issue also had some more build up with their world building. They had some more seeds in here for a title called Moths, which I believe is coming soon, as well as there was a word drop. I don't want to say a name drop, but a word drop referencing Year Zero, the story, the book about the zombies and whatnot. I'll be getting back into that pretty soon, reviewing that some more and whatnot. I'm behind on that. I'm behind on a lot. I'm catching up though. I'm trying. So yeah, I'm really liking what's going on here. You know, you got this James Struck character. He seems to be a force for good. He has all the right motivations. He seems to have the right heart for it. He doesn't want the bullshit this agency is trying to sell him. He's also saying to the agency, I know what's up, and I'm gonna take you down because you are evil. There's probably a few more things in here I overlooked. I didn't want to touch on every single page because, you know, that would just spoil the whole thing. So, you know, The Resistance, number 3 out of a 6-issue miniseries written by J. Michael Straczynski, AWA Upshot. You know, the book's $3.99. The cover art's pretty cool. I just realized it's actually a wraparound cover. So, you know, take a look at that. I'll show you a picture there. So yeah, leave a like, leave some comments on what other AWA books you want me to cover on here, or Marvel, DC, Image, whatever. I wish I could make a list available on YouTube for anybody watching this to go and not really vote on, but like, you know, I guess vote on, let you know what I have in my collection of comics and graphic novels that you would like me to go over. You know, is there a storyline? Is there a character? Is there a whatever? You know, let me know. Let me know down here. Like, subscribe, share, but most importantly, read these comics. Come back for more of these videos. All right. Hope you all have a great day. This is Reeferman Reviews.